Hi, I'm Sandra, a yoga teacher turned stay-at-home mom who is now looking for yoga solutions to parenting problems. So today I'm talking about 3 practices I've learned through yoga that I use to help me in those really difficult parenting moments like toddler meltdowns or babies who don't sleep. I found that when I use these 3 practices that I've pulled from my yoga lessons, my yoga training, that I'm able to be there for my children in a much calmer way than when I don't employ these 3 practices. So let's get right into it. The first one is kind of a combination of 2 things, but I'm putting them together, and it is being present or being mindful. So when you're in your yoga practice, you are generally invited to stay in the present moment, to root yourself even in that present moment. So sometimes in a difficult situation with parenting, a situation I'll use as an example is the other day, one of my babies was up for like 2.5 hours in the middle of the night, and I couldn't figure out why. He was just awake, which means I was just awake as well. So I'm going to use that as an example as we move through these steps. So difficult situation, there I am in the middle of the night with one of my babies, and sometimes your mind starts to sort of go to the future and produce these unhelpful thoughts that actually send you more into that stress response. So with the sleep example, it's, oh my gosh, how long are we going to be awake for? How tired am I going to be tomorrow? I'm going to be so tired tomorrow that I'm not going to get all the things I want done, or I'm going to, be in a bad mood tomorrow now, or oh, I'm going to get you settled and you're just going to wake up again. And as you're having those thoughts, your body is getting more and more stressed just based on those thoughts. So by being mindful, you're able to catch those thoughts. So something else that I, as a yoga teacher, often prompt my students is to be aware of your thoughts, or take a moment to notice your thoughts. So being mindful of those thoughts allows you to catch yourself having them and put a stop to them. So there I am having these thoughts. Oh my gosh, I can say, stop. You don't need to think those things right now. And then it's about getting present in this moment. And there's a few ways you can do that. One way I like to do it physically is to root myself back into the present moment physically in my body. So if you're standing or even if you're sitting, you can take your feet, soles of your feet down to the floor, wiggle your toes and feel your feet into the ground, because we don't do that very often. And just that simple moment of stopping, pausing those thoughts, wiggling the toes, feeling your feet on the ground, feeling whatever texture is under there, whatever temperature, you're now in your body. It's also great to sometimes do a little bit of a scan, because as that stress response is coming up, you're likely starting to tense in your body. So I also, if possible, have my eyes closed. There I am in the dark room holding my baby, trying to get him to go to sleep. Close my eyes, feel my shoulders. Are they up around my ears? Yep, they're tense. Let's relax the shoulders. Wiggling my toes, here I am in my body, relaxing my shoulders. Relaxing my jaw, yep, there's a lot of tension there. Relaxing my eyes, relaxing that space between your eyebrows, all those places that you're often holding stress and tension. And just being aware, being present, being mindful, and being able to catch where the stress is now being held in your body, and doing some movement, just letting that tension go, like, okay, my shoulders are down away from my ears now. That feels better. So that is the first practice. Second practice is breathing. So obviously during a yoga class, there is a lot of breath work and a lot of focus on the breath. And that is for a multitude of reasons, but one of them is to again help you root yourself in your body in the present moment. Also, when you can access a deeper breath, that is going to help regulate your nervous system in some ways. So We've now caught those thoughts. We've put a pause on those thoughts, those future thoughts that are stressing us out even more. We've relaxed some of the tension in our body. Now we're going to come to our breath. So a really quick, simple breathing technique I'm going to talk about today is called equal ratio breathing. You're going to be breathing in and out through your nose. So we're not taking those mouth exhales. We're breathing in and out through our nose for our yoga breath. And all you need to do for this is take note of how long you inhale, take note of how long you exhale, and you want to bring them to an equal length. So sometimes I recommend a count of 3 or 4, depending on how comfortable you are with deep breathing, and you're trying to get those deep belly breaths. So you perhaps close your eyes if it's a safe place to do that. If not, you can just do it with your eyes open, of course, but you're going to take a deep breath in, feeling that belly rise, counting to yourself, maybe to 3 or 4, and then taking that full breath out, letting the belly fall, and again, trying to get that exhale to match your inhale. So like I said, maybe a count of 3 or 4, maybe that's too fast for you, maybe that's too long, so find something that works for you, but you're just going to do that, even if you just do it 5 times, maybe even 3 times, just focusing on the breath, counting it out, slowing it down, because as we get more stressed, our breath gets more shallow and more quick. So we're just gonna equal ratio in and out just for a few moments, and you'll feel that stress in the body, again, that physical sensation of stress start to slow down, start to relax away. And again, using that connection to your breath in your body is going to help you stay rooted in the present moment. So breathing is number 2. Number 3 is mantras. So I have paused those negative future thoughts that are helping to stress me out, and now I want to replace them. And I'm not talking about toxic positivity here. I'm not saying, just everything is rainbows and butterflies. I'm talking about saying things that are going to help you remain calm and in the present moment. So going back to that sleep example, something that I find very helpful, and I've used it since my children were newborns, saying, my child will eventually sleep. He will eventually go to sleep. He's not going to be awake forever. This is not going to last forever. So you can say to yourself, just in your head, he will eventually sleep. He will eventually sleep. And just having that thought, because sometimes in those moments, I don't know if you can relate, but when your baby keeps waking up or won't go back down in the middle of the night, it feels like you're never going to sleep again. So just saying to myself, he will eventually go to sleep. I say it, a few times in my head, and I can again feel like, okay, he'll eventually go to sleep. We got this. Something else you can say is, I can do hard things. It's okay if I'm tired. I can do hard things. If you're in the middle of a epic toddler meltdown, perhaps, I like to use, they're having a hard time. They're having a hard time. Instead of thinking like, why won't they listen? They're not listening, or why are they yelling, or whatever it is, they're having a hard time. Something else that is useful is, I love you. So saying over and over in your head, I love you, I love you. Because when your brain is thinking, I love you, or you love your child, your body is having a different response. So finding something that works for you, again, I'm not saying, switch your thought to something super positive. I'm just saying find something that helps you to remain in a more calm state as you navigate through that difficult situation. And you're going to notice it physically, and if your stress response in your body is lessened physically, it's going to, again, allow you, hopefully it does for me, allow you to respond and navigate those difficult moments, perhaps with a little bit more patience, or perhaps just the way you want to, giving you time to breathe and think and not just react in those moments. So those are my 3 yoga practices that I pull for those difficult parenting moments. But if there's other ones that you can think of, or if there's any situations that you want me to try and tackle with a yoga solution, please leave comments below. Let me know if this is helpful, if you want to see more of this, and I'll be sure to give you some more yoga tips for some parenting trials. Thank you. Namaste.